Hello, welcome back to another edition of Things I'd Like to Look at and Talk About. Hope everybody's been doing good. And what you're kind of looking at today that's different than most of my other videos that you've seen is this is the one of a couple of vehicles we've got. And this is the one that gets us around the best as far as gas mileage and easy to use, especially in town. It's a Fiat 500 Sport. This is a 2015 model, and thought I'd walk around it a little bit because it is a car that I really enjoy having. We bought it pretty much new. We bought it new in 2016. It was went on, I guess what you call a clearance sale at a dealership, but we got a really good deal on it, and we've had it since, and we've been everywhere in this thing. So anyway, I'll walk around, kind of look at it a little bit, see what it looks like. You may notice the markings on it. I'm gonna try not to go around the back side of the car because then you got to worry about covering up the tag and stuff like that. And the back of the car is just the back of the car. Uh, you might kind of figure on the quick that yeah, I'm a Transformers fan, and yeah, I do collect them. It's not that I just like the movies or anything like that, or which I do, or subject matter, but yeah, I do collect them. Been collecting them a long time, and boy, when I tell you I got a bunch of them, I got a display room that's plumb full of them beasties. So one day, one of the videos, I'll do that, do a video, some of the Transformers I've got in there too. But anyway, my oldest son and I are the ones who pretty much did the decal work on this car, the vinyl decals, because they're not too. If you do a little research and do a little practice, they're not hard to do. They're really not hard to do vinyl decals. Look at this. It may be hot midsummer, but we got trees in our yard, even though we're in the tropics, that just non-stop dump leaves. You can see me. I'm just having to just non-stop dump leaves off this thing. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna kid you. I mean, whatever you may read or hear or say about Fiats, I mean, maybe some people who don't take care of their Fiats have trouble. This has been one of the best cars I've ever owned. I ain't gonna kid you. This has been a really, really good car. And yeah, I got different. I've got Autobot different names on each of the doors, just describing some of the main line Autobots, I want to say. But yeah, this has been a good car. She's on her is it third set of tires? Yeah, third set of tires. I just had these put on a few months ago, and these are really good tires I bought. Um, Not top of the line tires, but let me tell you, what's interesting about them is they are. And yeah, I even covered up my Fiat emblems with custom emblems I bought, and that's in honor of my Basset Hound, that Red Dog who I always talk about a lot in some of my videos. Old Red Dog. When he was alive and riding in the car with us, I got these stickers put on there, and they're still on there. And that old boy passed away in 2019, so that gives you an idea it was years before he passed away. I put these decals on, so they've stayed on the car good. Anyway, as you can see, I got some different names of Transformers on this side too. But yeah, these tires, these are Atlas. You can see where it says Atlas on it. Atlas, and these are actually Atlas Force ultra high performance tires. Okay, and they're actually XL tires, which means extra load, which we do tow a small camper, and I'll give you in a future video. I'll give you a tour of our little mini camper that we actually tow with this car, and tows it like a dream. It's gone all over with it. But those tires right there, those so far in the rain and handling have been excellent. And those, that very same brand, the Atlas Force, was what we had on a previous work truck that my wife and I were driving when a young man, where we never really knew what happened, but we were early morning in what state were we in? Alabama, I believe. Yeah, we were in Alabama on a fairly, I want to call it a fairly rural road. Left out from the truck stop after our 10-hour off, and was on the road. It was still almost morning. It was just, the sun was fixing to start cracking over the horizon. And my wife and I just talked about, where we're going to stop, what town we're going to stop in to have breakfast, because that's kind of, as you're driving along the road, you talk about things like that. And this little young fella, he come, what we're told is he might have fell asleep, might have had some kind of an attack or something, or he may have just, some kids in town told us he partied, liked to party all night. Some told us, I mean, we had so many contradicting stories, but anyway, he come head on into us in our lane. We were in our heavy Ford truck, a hot shot. And he come in our lane, and we had a full load on our trailer, almost 40-foot trailer with a forklift on it and a bunch of equipment. So you can imagine it was a heavy trailer behind us. And last second, I cut to the right when I only probably state trooper timed my dash video. He said I only had about 1.5 seconds to react when he come on in there, because he come up over a hill into our lane. And sure enough, I cut right hard, and he come into our truck, and right behind my driver's seats where his truck started coming on in, and he smashed his way through our bed of our truck, hit us so hard that it knocked the rear end out from under the truck. And that was boy, let me tell you, it was a devil of a wreck. It spun us in the opposite direction. It hit us so hard, and my wife and I ended up in a ditch, jackknifed, all that terrible stuff. We were really good, my wife and I, really good at strapping our equipment down that we were hauling really well. You know, no games. We'd strap it, check it, double check it, and when we'd leave a truck stop, we'd check it again. We were on the road to do things right. And we were actually, when the state trooper did his report, we were contacted by the FMCSA, and they told us that they were very impressed that our load stayed strapped to our trailer, and because it could have easily caused more loss of life of other vehicles that were passing us by. And anyway, long story short, you know, my wife and I did survive that accident, and our basset hound was with us, and he did all right too. And we got beat up a little bit, but not too bad. And unfortunately, the young fella that hit us, he didn't fare so good. He didn't fare real well. That's about all I want to say about that. But sadly, but yeah. But things like that happen. But anyway, our truck at the time had that brand of tire, had Atlas Force tires on it, but they were the commercial level. They were 10-ply. I think these are 4-ply, if I'm not mistaken, because they're just car tires, performance tires. But they were 10-ply, and through that wreck, first of all, the state trooper said those tires reacted wonderfully to get me to steer to the right, because he said if we would have got hit head on, it probably would have killed me and my wife. So he said it was really good that I managed to cut that vehicle like I did with the tires it had. 3 of them 4 tires, and all because of it jackknifing and sliding sideways and going off the road and cracks. 3 of them tires got blown completely up. Of course, the ones on the rear end that got knocked out went with the rear end, and we had 1 tire left it was actually on this front right, that survived, and like I said, since then I've always been very much a fan of those Atlas tires, because I kind of feel like between that and how good the truck, how durability of the truck we were in, it helped to keep my wife and I safe, and got us where we're still live and kicking today, you know. Anyway, like I said, this is a car I run around in. My wife likes driving it around. She always gets comments on it when she drives it. And got some decals on it, like Court tells, you can tell I'm a sci-fi person. I'm a classic Doctor Who fan. That's where we took our little mini camper. I don't know if you can see that. Mount Evans is in Colorado, and that does say elevation 14,270. And yeah, we took that mini camper, not all the way to the top of that mountain. We had it at a campground, but we took the car. Car went with us to the top of that mountain, and in the United States, it's the highest point of the United States you can take a vehicle, which is interesting because, yeah, my wife and I are a little too old to try mountain climbing, you know, on foot. So we did our research, and one of our bucket list items was drive a car to the top of the highest peak you could go to in a vehicle, and we did it in this car. So, and she did just, it was really nice because the roads are a little, as you can imagine, they're windy getting up that mountain. And when you got a smaller car like this that has the sport model of Fiats, have a little taller wheels and got more performance orientated brakes and suspension and some other odds and sods, and made the drive up there real nice and safe, and made you feel good going up there, even though the weather was kind of meh. But yeah, I mean, it was a thing. So and yeah, like I said, you're hard pressed to look at the car anywhere and not see something that has something to do with Transformers. I even got them little stuffed bullet Transformers things that are, you can see a bullet dolls, they call them, because they're little shaped like little soft bullet looking things. Isn't that cute? Megatron, Bumblebee, Optimus, and they got a lot of detail to them. They're very cute. You can see them through the window right there. Yeah, I mean, said I figured I'd come out here. It kind of stormed earlier in the afternoon. I figured I'd come out here and walk around and just kind of stretch my legs after dinner and let y'all see our main little vehicle and how good it is. Like I said, in all the years we've now owned this is 2024, and we bought it in 2016. It went in the shop under warranty one time because I had light come on telling me I had a sensor. I don't know what it said. I can't even remember. I don't think it wasn't exactly a check engine light. It was something that told us there was some issue. And yeah, it turned out to be a fuel return fuel pressure return. Anyway, long story short, it was a not any mechanical, it was a sensor. It was actually the sensor that's supposed to tell you good or bad or ugly had gone bad. When we took it to the dealer, he said, yeah, those things are one of the common things that from the factory were not too good. And he said, once we replace it with our aftermarket one, he said, you'll never have to deal with it again. And he was right. That was it. And that was only a couple years after we got the car. So since then, she's been tires. I have put a fresh set of brakes on her, which was very easy to do. As you can imagine, this is very easy to lift up with a car jack and put safety under it. And these wheels are so small. The brakes, even though they're performance brakes, you just get decent performance brake pads put back on. It's 4-wheel disc. Front ones change out easy as pie. Back ones, biggest thing you got to worry about is making sure that as you're pressing in the caliper, it has to be turned clockwise or else you'll damage the little piston thing in there. So as long as you do things, as long as you read up, believe me, as long as you read up on stuff, you'll do fine. You ain't got to worry about stuff. But she's been a good car, let me tell you. As far as the age of it, this car's not been in a garage. It has strictly been parked, as you can see, outdoors. This is all the way it's always been. Yeah, I wash it and I wax it every, it's either spray on wax or other types of wax every so often. Not terribly constantly, but every so often. And as you see, that paint looks just as pretty and shiny. Dang near as nice as it was when we bought the car. And like I said, it's not even because they're Fiat's fancy cars, an Allbarth. That's the way you pronounce it, Allbarth. That's the fancy sports car one. Has a turbo, 100 more horsepower than this, 17-inch wheels instead of 16. All the bells and whistles. And it's got a 3-coat paint job with a clear coat. This is just a singular coat, so. But pretty neat. Anyway, so I figured I'd show you all that. Y'all take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll come back with some other thing to look at, talk about, and take care till then. Bye-bye.